where we take this worldwide. Let's go. Listen. So now it's time to turn it up. Surf the radio waves as we begin to burn it up. We all up in your area like landscape, definitely bringing you the pancakes. It's a mandate that you tune in. It's time to move out so we can move in and recognize that this is no illusion. I'm here to clear the air so that there is no confusion. It all started off in the book of Genesis when Jacob was wrestling with who he thought was his nemesis. And when the man saw he couldn't overpower him, he touched his hip but he really couldn't devour him. And from that point then we hear a name change, rearrange the game, so now we gotta change lanes. So I'm here to let you know it's time to listen to the Pancake and Power Slam show. Let's go! Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Power Slam show. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Power Slam show. Turn it up.
What's going on, everybody? This is Dr. Chris Fairstone here for yet another episode of the Pancakes and Powerslams show, episode 463. Wow. 463 episodes of the Pancakes and Powerslams show. Isn't that loony? Loony. Wow. I mean, just celebrating 9 years in 2 months, a little less than 2 months. The show will be on the air for 9 whole years, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Isn't that crazy? So thankful that I get to do this with you for 9 years. In 460, not only 463 weeks, 463 straight weeks, consecutive weeks. Let me fix this microphone. This microphone is kind of bothering me a little bit. There we go. My feather pod here. Got to make sure the feather pod is looking nice and right. Yeah, I've actually got 2 other ones too. It's a whole podcast set up here. Yeah, so the feather pod is looking nice and right. Got to make sure the feather pod's looking nice and right. All right, so let's address these questions here. What's going on, Ricky? Hey, yo. What's the number of times you've interviewed Bill Dundee? Oh, goodness. I like when you ask those questions, Ricky. I don't know. Let me find out. Let's see, Chris Featherstone, Bill Dundee. A lot. Quite a bit. Probably 4 or 5 times, most likely 4 or 5 times. I'm looking at the PNP episodes. I already see the 2. Bill Dundee's, he's pulled through for me, man. So I had a episode on Christmas Day, 2018. And Bill Dundee was like, "Okay, mate, I'll do it for you, mate. Let's do it." And then New Year's Eve of 2019. So wow, yeah, he's kudos to Bill Dundee, man. He's came through for me. I'm gonna actually find out. I'm gonna find out how many times Bill Dundee. Let's see. Let's see. I need to update these. This player FM. Yeah, Bill Dundee. I don't know. It's been a lot. I'm not really searching the way I wanted to search, but oh well. Anyways, yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. Why does Shane McMahon need to come back for? Josh is asking. See, I'm a Shane guy. You know, I'm a Shane guy. I got a soft spot for Shane McMahon, but what I don't want to see is a match with him and Adam Pearce. Heel Shane, I mean, that was okay for a moment, but I don't want to see heel Shane come back. I definitely don't want to see it. I was looking at Raw, and I was like, come on. Are you really going to have a match with Shane McMahon and Adam Pearce? Don't do it. Don't do it. I can see Adam Pearce saying, "Okay, please give me an opportunity. Please give me an opportunity. Please give me an opportunity." I can see that happening. And yeah, it would have been, and I'm just leery, man. I'm just leery of what could possibly be going on. I'm not feeling good about this. I don't want to see Shane McMahon versus Adam Pearce. I just don't want to see it, man. I don't want to see it. If they're going to use Shane McMahon, they need to use Shane McMahon in a much better spot than that. I really don't. I really hope that doesn't happen. Vengeance Day predictions. Let's do that actually while we're at it. Let's find out. That is actually on Valentine's Day. How apropos. Let me find out. Let me pull up the card here. All right, so Io Shirai versus Toni Storm versus Mercedes Martinez. So there's only 5 matches booked on this so far. I don't see how Mercedes or Tony can win this. I just don't see that happening. I think EO's going to win it. As far as the Dusty Classic, seems like they're really pushing Raquel Gonzalez, so I can see them winning. Although I would love for Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart to win because I like Ember Moon, but they've just totally oh man, like what did I miss? What did I miss about Ember Moon getting this type of treatment? I don't know exactly what I missed there. Ember Moon was being shot to the moon and she got injured a couple times, but I mean, I don't get it. I really don't get what I missed as far as why they're not pushing Ember Moon. Ember Moon should 100% be the top star. I like Io. I like Io. I think she definitely. I'm cool with her. Fans love her clearly because she became a babyface. It's one of those things that if you are like trying to be a heel and you still are being cheered, like people love you. They love you. People love you. There's your Trump for tonight. Um, they love you. And that's how Io was. I mean, they kept chanting Io even when she was a heel. And actually, when she was feuding with Candice LeRae as a babyface, and Candice LeRae wasn't poor Candice LeRae, because Io was the one getting cheered. So yeah, she's earned her stripes as a babyface. I think she's been champ for a long time, and she should. I mean, she's really good. But I think Ember Moon should be up there. So if it was up to me, I would have Mercedes. Nah, I still think Raquel Gonzalez would be the heel to go to when it comes to. I'll be okay with. I don't know. I don't know about Toni Storm either. I mean, she was cool in the UK as a babyface, but this heel run is just a bust for me. Mercedes Martinez, she's been around for a long time in the business, but not long enough in NXT to really call some enough noise to be champion. So that's a really odd match, to be honest with you. Raquel Gonzalez, to me, I think she's still a little too young. I would have Candice LeRae out of anybody. I would have Candice LeRae. I'm trying to figure out someone who has enough heat to make Ember Moon, rise up and chase, as a babyface for the like a Mania style takeover. Ember Moon should be champ again. I mean, I don't understand why. I just don't get it. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. MSK or Legado del Fantasma, Ciampa and Thatcher, or GYV. Oh, for some reason I think they're going. For some reason I think they may do Ciampa and Thatcher. They like those makeshift tag teams to do it. They did Balor and Joe. They did Riddle and Dunn, and then to the finals, Dunn and Roderick Strong. Yeah, they like those makeshift tag teams. And so Ciampa and Thatcher is definitely a makeshift tag team. And so for some reason they like that. So I can see that happening. I'm a big Kushida fan. I would love for Kushida to win the North American Championship, but I don't see it happening. Although I really want it to happen. Kushida's beat Gargano twice, so unfortunately, I don't see that happening. I see Finn Balor keeping the belt too. I see Balor versus Karrion Kross. I see Karrion Kross being the one to take it off for Balor, which Balor versus Kross would be a pretty cool match. So, yep. Balor beats Dunn. Kross beats Balor. There's your predictions. What I think about Tom Brady winning again, I think, you heard it here first from Dr. Chris Featherstone, ladies and gentlemen. As much as I don't like saying this because he's a Michigan guy, I don't like saying this, but I gotta give credit where credit's due. I believe that Tom Brady is the GOAT. I believe he's the GOAT, man. You just can't argue, man. The dude's got seven rings and 10 appearances. Dude literally leaves a franchise that he's won 6 rings with, and leaves them, comes back. I mean, instead of retiring, he goes to another team. So you're winding down. This is a retirement age. He says, you know what? I'm going to start a new career and be successful at that too. Goes to Tampa Bay out of anything, out of any team. You go to Tampa Bay. and a team that, hasn't won a title in 20 years. So what's the last? I think it was like 2000 in Tampa Bay last time they won it, when they had a Warren Sapp, right? I think it was 2000. No, that's when they had. Because I think Tony Dungy was the coach at the time. Might have been like 04 or 05, somewhere around there. Because they had John Gruden as the. It was 2002. All right, so yeah, 2002. They had John Gruden as the coach, and yeah, Rowan Sapp was there. Mike Allstott was there. Brad Johnson was the quarterback. Yeah, because Brad Johnson came out of Florida State, right? Florida State. Yeah. So, yeah. So it was almost 20 years ago. So it's been almost 20 years since the Tampa Bay has won a Super Bowl. He goes in Tampa Bay, and they weren't even a well-oiled team. They didn't have Leonard Fournette at the time. They didn't have Antonio Brown. And so he basically created, and then the coach, he had like a couple head coaching positions before. He was a commentator, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I mean, he didn't really, he wasn't like a well-known, coach as far as success-wise. And so, yeah, man, it was just a really odd just combination of everything that just went right. And so, kudos to him, man. Kudos to the Buccaneers. Got to give it up for him, and I think Tom Brady's the GOAT, man. No arguments there for me. No arguments there for me. That's for sure. You look forward to the show. Awesome, Ricky. I appreciate it, man, very much. Is Carlito going to wrestle again? He's been wrestling. I mean, he's been a star in Puerto Rico, with, the Colognes basically corner the Puerto Rican market when it comes to wrestling, for the most part. I mean, there's other markets there, but the WWC is where it's at. And so, but as far as WWE is concerned, he's not planning to come back full time. As far as I heard, it wasn't. He's not supposed to be coming back for good. So, let's see what else we got. Loving the interaction here. Yeah, R.I.P. Butch Reed, man. R.I.P. Butch Reed for sure. What's up, Paul? Paul's one of our patrons, man. Kudos to Paul. My guy. Speaking of my guy, this is my guy, man. It's one of my buddies, Jordan. Appreciate the stop through, buddy, for sure. Yes, I am a full doctor. I am a doctor in psychology. I'm a psychotherapist. I have a PhD. Absolutely. Yeah, she was concerned about the feather pod. You got to make the feather pod look, very, very presentable. My goal actually was to actually bring people in and have frequent shows, because it's a nice podcast studio. My goal, my aim for this feather pod, and it's going to happen soon. I know it's going to happen soon, was to have recurring shows, people coming in here all the time. But I actually want to pause because I actually want to have, I'll still be doing my shows here from the Feather Pod Control Center. I can't really, it's my office space. It's pretty cool. But my goal actually was to bring people in here often and have live or recorded shows in the podcast studio, but COVID jacked that up. And so what I'll do, what I told my wife, I was like, you know what, man, I'm just gonna invest in 2 really good cameras, and spend the money on that and really hook it up by the end of the year. Or if someone has really good cameras, like really, really, really nice cameras, I think I might put that on Facebook to see who has. I want 2 really, really nice cameras that I can start switching the camera view, and then having, some of the live podcasts on the Feather Pod. That would be pretty cool. But I want to start bringing people in and having actual shows. I want the production to be really nice and tight. I got some nice lighting too. I bought I bought all that stuff like about a year and a half ago. But I just want it to look really nice and tight. Like super nice production, and I want the Feather Pod to look very crispy, and it's there. I just want the production. I want the cameras to look very crispy, so I can do multiple views. I'll be able to switch views. From what I understand, I want to get techie and all that stuff too. I've got to the point where I can do graphics and stuff like that. My own, at least. I've done graphics for my wife too, but self-taught and all that stuff. I did this lower third. I did that by myself. So yeah, I'm learning all that stuff. But videography is just something that I'm going to learn, but I'm so busy doing other stuff, but I really want to like it to be really nice. And so I'm going to ask some people, pull on some people and see, because I want to get to the point where I'm switching views and have it look really, really nice. So that's my next goal. That's my next project, is to have some live Feather Pod shows. I'm really looking forward to that, actually. Absolutely not. Retribution is boo-boo. No. There was a time where I actually tried to interview him. I was looking for it. It was a time where I wanted to interview him, but I think he was like in some trouble. He was in some trouble. And so yeah. What's up, Chris? Yes, I have 2 screens right here, and then I have a big screen that's a third monitor. Actually, it's a big screen that has a television capabilities. I use it as both a TV and a third monitor. So the Feather Pod control center is really cool. So screen, and then the third screen here that I can navigate the way that I want, actually. So I can use it the way that however I'll fit. I usually watch Raw on the flat screen, or when I study, I use it to pull up my Kindle, or I use my tablet or my laptop or my other screen. But I usually play music. I usually put my Spotify on that screen to play it, or I'll just, if I'm busy working, when I'm doing research, I'll just use it as a third screen. So it's a nice all-in-one big flat screen TV up there. It's pretty gnarly. Good question, Alonzo. Actually, I like this question. Clearly, Bad Bunny wants to be his manager. Here's my take on Bad Bunny. First of all, I had no idea who he was, and you were actually surprised that I didn't. That's not music that I listen to, so I had no clue who Bad Bunny is. Although I heard he has a really big Puerto Rican following. So he's a celebrity in Puerto Rico, at least. 40 whatever it was, 48 million, 46 million views on YouTube. So this is one thing I do like about people who's in a celebrity outside of wrestling. Especially this is why I loved McAfee. Pat McAfee was just really good. I heard he didn't get along with some people backstage, but from other people, from what he's saying, which I can respect, he really wanted to like engulf himself in the business. He didn't want to be that guy who just come in for a buck. And I can appreciate that. I can really appreciate that. Someone who's actually spending time to like invest themselves in learning and training and getting to not looking like an idiot when they're wrestling. And McAfee actually looked pretty good when he competed at the War Games. He actually looked good. So, and then he looked good against the one-on-one against Adam Cole too. So yeah, I give him mad props for that. And it seems as if Bat Bunny, from what a lot of reports are saying, he actually wants to be, he wants a wrestling role in some way. He wants to, like, he's been a wrestling fan like all of his life. He had a lifelong dream to become a wrestler in some capacity. So I'm sure he's making a ton of money with this music, so he won't veer away from that. But it is pretty cool that he's having the opportunity to be kind of live out his dream. And I think being with Damian Priest, a fellow Puerto Rican, I think that's a good spot for him. So I actually would be fine with I think I mentioned this before. I think I mentioned this on Legion of Raw yesterday. I'd be fine with the WrestleMania spot. You do Bad Bunny and Damian Priest against Miz and Morrison. I think that'd be fine. That'd be a good way to use them. I'd be fine with that. 1 week to pop a rating. Yeah. I doubt that happened. Thoughts on Royal Rumble. The quick version of it is, listen to my show last week. You can always listen to the archive versions, but the quick version is not a fan of Edge winning. Big fan of Bianca Belair winning. That's a good question, Paul. How did Raw Underground work out? Yeah, of course I'm joking. Yeah, it was really bad. Just message George Southback. He messaged me. So yeah, it was terrible. It was DOA. I mean, you kind of knew that though, for sure. Yeah, I did hear. Yeah, I did know Cardona's an Impact now. Nice. He's the whole package. Nice. I see what you did there. The Chris Jericho of the NFL. Okay, I can see that. Aaron Rodgers is not the GOAT. Are you kidding? That's a very biased opinion. And I'm telling you, as someone who cannot stand Michigan, I can't stand the Michigan Wolverines. Are you kidding? I'm an Ohio State fan through and through. Can't stand Michigan. Everybody knows I can't stand Michigan. Can't stand the Patriots. That's my least favorite team in the NFL, other than the Cowboys, is the Patriots. I can't stand the Patriots. So Michigan and the Patriots are two of my worst teams. Brady played for both of them. But I can say, I got to give credit where credit's due. I got to say that Tom Brady is the greatest of all time. I mean, I can't argue that, man. I really can't argue that. I don't see how that's arguable at all, actually. To say that Tom Brady's not. I would love for Austin to bring me up on to bring me his podcast. That would be fantastic. I'm in. I'm in. Yeah, it was a one-off. It was a one-off. It was just to give Drew some a pop. Yeah, just give Drew a pop. Good question. I met her at a ministry endeavor, and yeah, been married. This is our 11th year married, and she's just as beautiful, if not even more beautiful, as she was when I met her. And I thought she was hot then. Thoughts about the releases of Lars and Steve Cutler. Lars wasn't a surprise at all. He should have stayed on NXT. I think he was actually making some steam, making some headway in NXT. It's just that big man syndrome, man. It's just really a hit or miss. I mean, it really gets difficult to be a big man and think that you're really going to last long in the WWE. Vince McMahon just kind of changes his mind, and there you go. And so when it comes to Lars, I just didn't see anything in him. I mean, you know, the whole freak gimmick and just coming in and beating up everybody. I just didn't buy it. I didn't buy it. There was no buy-in to me. I wasn't really interested. Since the NXT is more wrestling centric, right? So I'm more interested in him being in the NXT. But when it comes to the main, when he came on SmackDown, he was going back from Raw and SmackDown, just beating people up and then he beat up the Hardys, and I'm just like, I mean, what am I buying into here? Like, I'm not buying into a character. I'm just buying into some freak just coming in and beating up everybody. Like, I'm not sold. So, not a surprise, and especially all the drama that all the scandal and all that what he was in. Steve Cutler, I can see from what I heard of the reason why he was fired. I would have suspended him maybe, or just I wouldn't have fired him. I don't think I would have fired him. I don't know if that's fireable, but at the same time, unfortunately, he was very expendable at the time. You know, they try to bring him as the Knights of the Long Wolf. Well, he was a part of the Forgotten Sons. They beat the New Day to try to put him over, which I think was stupid. But then the whole mess goes on with Riker, with the tweets and all that, and then they leave, and then they come back and they split from Riker. Riker goes to Raw. They go to SmackDown. They're no longer the Forgotten Sons. And so, I mean, it was a decent way to use them, you know, as you know, being with Corbin. It was decent, but that was very expendable. I would love to interview Cutler, though. I would love to see just get his thoughts on it and see, you know, what he thinks about that. So from what I heard, Vince was very upset because he knew that he had COVID, and he was just kind of still hanging out with people, WWE guys. So that infuriated Vince McMahon, and there you go. So I'm sure there's more to that, but we'll see. Talk to Draws on the phone, James. You're supposed to be like sitting for him or something like that, right? Or a caregiver or something like that. Yeah, let me know. I'd be interested in that, James. Keep me posted on that. The temp here is, let me see, what's the current temp here? CO. It's probably cold. It's 17 degrees right now. 17 degrees. And it's supposed to snow and be it's supposed to be cold for the rest of the week. Not getting any higher than 31 on Friday, but under 20, under 30, 17 on Sunday. 4 degrees is the low. So outside of church, I'm going to keep my butt in the house. How about that? I'm going to enjoy my wonderful home. But the good thing is March is coming. Springtime is coming. But according to this weather, it's supposed to stay in the 30s for the rest of the month. So it's supposed to go up to the 30s, but next week it's supposed to stay in the 20s. So it's supposed to be cold. It's supposed to be pretty cold for the next couple of weeks. But I'm willing to, endure that for the sake of springtime. At least this is, I tell people, at least this is the back end of it, At least this is the back end of it. Springtime is just a few weeks away, and it'll be okay. Just stay bundled up. You think, Paul? I know. Actually, my family did build a snowman outside my house about a month ago, and it was pretty. It looked pretty good. I would actually enjoy a lot interviewing Mick Foley. Actually, went back and forth with his agent. We couldn't come up with a date, so he actually wanted me to get back with him. This was a while ago, though, so I need to do that. Let's see. 2 questions. What's up, Devontae? Who do you think Ed's going to choose at Mania? Reigns. Who do you think Bianca's going to choose at Mania? Sasha, but I don't want to see face versus face. I want to see Bianca chase it as a face. I want her to get that full baby face heel chase feel. And so I'm a little leery with I'm a little leery when it comes to that. I'm not a big fan. I would rather for her to chase as a full-fledged baby face. So, how many wrestlers have I interviewed? I would say over. Oh my goodness, dude! I don't know. That's a good question. I would say over 200, and total interviews over 300. Over 200 wrestlers. Over 300 interviews. I've been interviewing since, I've had, this show's been going on for 9 years. 9 years in April. So, yeah. There you go. And I've had an interview for the past 5 years. I've had an interview every single week. So, yeah. Actually, since, was it 16? I started that interview a week thing. Yeah, because it was like once a month and became like twice a month sometimes. And then it became every week. So yeah, over 300 interviews total as far as people over 200. Finals for March Madness. I'm a house. My team's Duke, man. Duke sucks this year. It just absolutely sucks. And it's hard for me to say that because Duke is one of the best franchises. They're definitely they're one of those. They're a restore or a kind of reload team, not a necessarily rebuild. But man, I don't know what it is. I don't know if Coach K's recruits this year didn't fit the bill, But Duke sucks this year, man. Like they lost to Notre Dame, the last game. Yesterday lost to Notre Dame. I get excited about Duke and North Carolina every year, but I just didn't care. I peaked in the game. Like I peak in Duke games now. Like I peak in them. That's how much I'm just so not interested in a full Duke game. I peak in them. I get alerts. I'm a huge Duke fan. I get alerts when Duke play. So I'll peek in the game, and if they're winning, I'll watch a little bit more. But if they're losing, I hop right back out. Like that's what happened with I ended up catching because I was at work when the Duke game started. And by the time I got to it, they lost like by 4 points or something like that to Notre Dame. And then when I peeked in the North Carolina game, they were down 12. And so I didn't even know the final score with Duke and North Carolina, actually. I don't even remember. I mean, I don't even know. Okay, so they kind of came back and ended up losing by 4 points. So there you go. Man, we're like a legit 7-7 now. We're trying to make it to the NIT at this point. Like, can you believe Duke in 2021 is 7-7? Isn't that nuts? Man, we haven't been this bad in at least a decade. Let me look at Duke's. Gotta keep working is what the Twitter said. I don't think I can make Duke. This is just sad. Yeah, it is sad, man. It is very, very sad. Very sad. Duke is 7-8 now, actually. It's the first time we've been under 500 in a long, long time. I cannot believe how bad we are this year. Like we just are just horrible. Let me try to figure out the last time we had a season this bad. Let's see. So we haven't. I mean, we were 25-11 in 2015 and 16, and we went to the Sweet 16. Last time we had a losing record. Wow, we've never had a losing record. So K was out, so he's 9-3, and then 4-15 was Pete Golded back in '94 when they split coaching. So yeah, that was a losing record. We were 13-18 at that time, but that wasn't a full season with K. We were okay. 1982 was the last full season with Coach K. The last full season was that we had a losing record overall was 1982. That was 39 years ago. So this is crazy. But I mean, typically we lose. I mean, we're typically a 5-7 loss team, and yeah, it's this is sad, man. I mean, it's only halfway through the season, but man, we got to do something if we want to make it to the tournament. if we want to make it. If we don't want to, we're struggling to make the NIT at this point. But man, Duke sucks this year, man, and that sucks. Yikes. See you, Paul. I'm about to head out too, my man. No, I don't think the Packers will go. Titans. The thing is with Titans, Elvis. I wish that I think we, I'm not. Tannehill is good. He's good. I don't want to take that away from that. He was just an amazing discovery last year. And he's decent, man. He's solid. But I just don't see him as like a championship quarterback. At least not yet. I hope that changes soon, but I just don't see him that much into. I don't know, man. I wish I kind of want someone with the bigger drive. It was rough watching Titan games. I mean, like I had to just. It was rough to watch Titan games because a lot of times we had to come from behind. We went to overtime. You know what I mean? Like it was like, this is just too much, to watch a Titan game. And a lot of times, I'm in Ohio, so sometimes we get Titan games, but I would have to follow the tweets. And so that's a lot. That's how I would pay attention to Titans games live. Otherwise, I would watch the highlight package on the NFL YouTube every week. So it was like a 15-minute highlight package that I would watch every week, like shortly after the game. And so, but that was after the game. And so if they lost, I wouldn't watch the highlight package. But like, oh man, it was rough to watch Titans games. It was just too much. And AJ Brown's good. Of course, Derrick Henry's the best, running back of the NFL. So we have our secondaries can get suspect. Our line is good. Our secondary suspect. Kind of reminds me of Ohio State, unfortunately. But yeah, we need some killer instinct, man. You know what? I usually go every year since 33. I couldn't go last year because of COVID, but I don't know. I don't know this year. It just really depends on if WWE is allowing media to go. Because I know they're not doing Hall of Fame, they're not doing Takeover, they're not doing, as far as I know so far, they're not doing Takeover. But Mania is the only thing that they're doing, and I don't think there's going to be much indie stuff going on either. So I think because of COVID, they're making media restrictions, and so I'm definitely not going to pay to go there. I'm not. I get paid to go to Mania. As a fan, I wouldn't pay money as a fan to go to Mania to watch the card that's being presented to us. I definitely wouldn't do that. That would be a waste of money to me, actually. So if I'm not making money, I'm not going for leisure. That's for sure. Do you see where Carolina players got in trouble for celebrating without a mask after Duke game? Yeah. I can see that being a big issue. Cool. Let me address a few more, and then we're good to go. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Kansas, Duke, North Carolina, and Kentucky, all top 25. That is, those are the four of the most popular franchises in college football history. And they suck this year. Carolina was really bad last year too. Carolina's been struggling for a little bit. They've been struggling for a couple of years. Last year they were how Duke was this year. They sucked. But Carolina's actually decent. They're not bad. I'd rather have Carolina's record. I think Carolina's like 12-6. And I'd rather have Carolina's record right now than Duke's record. It's 7-8. The heck is that all about? So, yeah, it's. I'd rather have Carolina's record than Duke's record, but it is pretty sad. It is pretty crazy that they are all not good. I don't think Sheamus will. I like Sheamus's theme, like current theme, a lot better. And Jeff Hardy, from what I heard, he's going to get his theme back when fans come back. Cool. Nah, well, best wishes to you, man. I just, not me. Not me. I'm not interested. Not enough. I've been to WrestleMania. I've been to 3 WrestleManias, 33, 34, and 35. And all of them were awesome. It's one of my favorite times of the year as far as media is concerned. I love it. I absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. It's thrilling. It's a journalist's dream to do that. I get there on Thursday. I go from event to event, from show to show. I get guest pass. Actually, on my wall over here, I actually have a big thing of media passes from WWE. I have a WWE media pass. I have a ROH media pass when I went to the joint show with New Japan and at the Madison Square Garden. Like, are you kidding? Like, it was amazing to me. Like, the stuff like that is absolutely amazing. I actually went to Madison Square Garden for free. I didn't pay a dime. I did media at Madison Square Garden. Like, as a fan, that's surreal to me. So being at a WrestleMania live, I've been to 3 WrestleManias live, and having, being in the Garden, that's amazing. You have MLW media passes, of Impact media passes over there from WrestleMania weekends. So yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I love doing it. I love enjoying it. Every time that I've went to Mania, it was my first time there. I think maybe I had a residency in Orlando before Mania. No, it might have been after Mania. So Orlando, and then my first time in New Orleans at 34. My first time at New York City at 35. Well, New Jersey. I did a lot of the shows. I did a lot of media in New York. My Airbnb was in New York. So, absolutely fantastic. I don't know. I don't even know what they're doing with that, man. I don't think he'll turn on him because Miz will be the heel, but yeah. Feather Pod's lit up. Yeah, Feather Pod's in session. At least from the Feather Pod. This is called the Feather Pod Control Center. So I have a nice control center set up here. I have 3 screens and nice clock and lighting and stuff like that. This is actually the Feather Pod back there. So, like I said, I'm gonna invest in some really, really, really good cameras. And my goal is by the end of the year have like a really nice production Feather Pod, multiple views. I gotta learn all that. So I'm a psychotherapist and a Bible college professor and a small group leader and a podcaster, analyst, all that. So and a small group leader, I think I might have said that. Be more than that, I'm a husband and a father. So my schedule is stretched. So yeah, I got to, in the process of writing a book, and my day is stretched from about 7 a.m. to about 1 a.m. Just about daily. So yeah, so I am spending time making sure that I'm sectioning off things that I want to do before the end of the year. I actually started the book cover, and I've got multiple books. Yeah, just a lot, a lot going on here. And I'm in school too. I'm getting a 3rd master's degree in criminal justice with a specialization of behavioral sciences. So, yeah. I would love to interview Tom Brady. Sure, absolutely. Cool, y'all. Well, that's it for me, y'all. I think we're gonna wrap it up. And this was fun as always. Lots of fun. Paul's got jokes. Paul's got jokes. Absolutely. Paul's got jokes. All good. All good. All right, y'all. Fun time as always. I'm heading out. Until next week, enjoy your week of wrestling. God bless. And always remember, I'll do it for you. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.